wanted to talk to you a little bit about different ways to make your nail polish last as long as possible. I have heard from various different sources that nail polish has a shelf life of around 2 years. I think as far as the shelf life of all cosmetics, I think nail polish is the cosmetic, if you will, that it's least important that you go by the shelf life. I know that sounds really messed up, but as far as I'm concerned, with nail polish goes, it's not going on your face, it's not going on your lips or on your eyes, and as long as it is functioning and you can use it and it's not like a pain in the butt to use, or it's not separated, or the color's not weird, I think you're good. But there are some things that you can do to make them last longer. So I'm just going to go over a couple little tips and then some things that you can do if nail polish does get kind of messed up. So the first thing, and the most important thing probably, is make sure that when you are using a polish, you are keeping the lid on it rather than just like setting the cap in loosely. I know that's kind of difficult with certain nail art techniques. You kind of have to keep the lid loose because you have to work fast. But if you don't have to keep it uncapped, then always cap it. When it's uncapped, air gets in and it thickens the polish, and it just majorly cuts down on the life of the polish. So going along with that, always make sure that before you put a polish away, when you're finished with it, you cap it very, very tightly to make that airtight seal. Also, one of the other things that can break the seal in the nail polish and allow air in, which then makes it thicken up, is if you have a lot of crusted up nail polish around the rim. This can happen from like taking the brush when you're painting your nails and kind of wiping the excess polish off on the rim of the bottle just so you don't have a huge glob on your nail, but eventually it does get down into the threading, into the cap and on the bottle, and it creates this kind of crusty, dry nail polish, and that actually breaks the airtight seal and allows air in, and it can make your nail polish dry out a lot faster. So it's always good to, avoid getting nail polish on the threads like anybody does it on purpose, but also to take a cotton ball and nail polish remover and clean those off periodically to make sure that you're still getting an airtight seal. Granted, I would make sure that you don't do that like right after you're done painting your nails, because you'll get cotton ball in threads like in your nail polish, and the nail polish remover will eat away your manicure and stuff. So just keep that in mind. You want to do that when you don't care what happens to the polish that's on your nails. But it is always best to go through and clean those out. I know especially like micro glitters can get really messy around the threading, so yeah, you want to keep those clean so that you can keep that seal on there. Another thing that I have always heard and just absolutely pains me to admit is that it's not good to keep your nail polish in wall racks, which I knew way back when I had my nail polish in wall racks, but I didn't care because I just really, really liked the way they looked. So I have recently gone to Michaels and gotten these Melmers, if you will. They're like the Michaels version of an IKEA Helmer, because the closest IKEA is like 3 hours away from me, and I'm not driving 3 hours for a $40 cabinet. So I went and got some of the 3-drawer storage cubes from Michaels, and I have moved all my polish into those. I don't like it really because I liked my racks because I could see all the polish and pick which one I wanted, and it's not as easy in the racks, and it's not as easy to pair a polish with a glitter and all this stuff. But I'm getting used to it. I think I'm going to take my untrieds out of the Melmer and put them in to one of the racks because I didn't take any of my racks down yet. So that way I can get through those a little bit faster. But I'm not the biggest fan of that right now. But the reason for that is that sunlight and light in general gets into, obviously nail polish bottles are clear, the light is able to go through and it can break down some of the chemicals in the polish over time, and just it's better to store them in a dark place, cool dark place preferably. So a bathroom or a place where it gets very steamy is not the best place to store nail polish either. It kills me to have them in the storage cubes right now. I might try to figure something, a kind of balance between the two out when we move, but right now it is what it is, and it's just, I feel like it's really kind of sad for my brain that I feel like I'm neglecting them. It's weird. But yeah, it always is best to store them out of light if you can, but let's face it, polish racks just look so cool and just like a nice little display of your collection, so I don't blame somebody for not following that one rule. Polish is not necessarily in brand new condition anymore. I know sometimes you can get your polishes, like you can't get them open, sometimes that polish that gets in the threading can like seal the bottle pretty much. One of the things that I learned, I forget where I even saw this, I feel like I saw it on like a PBS show when I was like 11 or 12, and I remember this, and it was basically how to open jars and, you know, things in the kitchen that were really difficult to open, and they took a very wide rubber band and they put the rubber band around the opening to the jar, and it popped right open because the rubber band around the opening is giving you an extra grip and your hand can't slip off the lid. You can do the same thing with a nail polish bottle that won't open, is wrap a rubber band around the lid and then try to open it. You'll still have to put a little bit of like force into it, but it will come open a lot easier because the rubber in the rubber band is helping you grip onto the bottle. That's why bottles like Orly's and I Love Nail Polish, an indie brand, also has these kind of rubberized grips on their bottles, and it's to help you get the bottle open. So what else does that? Sally Hansen Complete Salon Manicure has that little rubber ring around the bottom. So yeah, any bottle you can do that with, but just putting a rubber band around it. And then make sure to clean off that threading when you do finally get it open. So another thing that I hear a lot of, granted, I feel like people are getting a little bit wiser about this, but for a while I heard a lot of people say that you can add nail polish remover to a thickened polish. Now, okay, what that will do is it will thin the polish initially and it will be great for your first use, but it will actually make the polish more difficult to work with and more thickened in the long run. So if you want to restore a polish permanently, or if you want to extend the life of the polish rather than just like a one-time use quick fix, you need to invest in a nail polish thinner. So what I have heard is that nail polish thinners work best when the ingredients in the thinner match up with the ingredients in the nail polish. Nail polishes that are 3-free or 5-free like that, I guess you have to have a certain kind of thinner to work with that. That is something that is completely new to me. I haven't done a lot of research on that because I only heard that when I started looking at getting a thinner for my Seche Vite, because Seche Vite is not 3-free or 5-free. It still has the formaldehyde and all those like really nasty chemicals in it. You have to have a thinner that matches that to restore what has evaporated from the nail polish. You definitely want to invest in a nail polish thinner. The one I have is from Sally's, and it's the Beauty Secrets brand, and it will help keep your polish thin for an extended period of time rather than one nail polish remover will do it once and then end up ruining the bottle later on. So again, it is really important to never use nail polish remover to thin your nail polish because it will destroy it. So yeah, those are my tips on how to keep your nail polish lasting longer. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later. Bye!